Thornton's annoying as hell. Use the bat!
Sorry about that, Thornton.
Really? Seems like you were kind of aiming for him.
Please, don't press the button. It's so cold out here.
I tried to warn you, Sebastian.
Well, if it isn't Arthur Penderbrook, I was wondering when you'd come by to gloat.
I did everything I could to stop this. I told the soothmaker your work was doomed, that it couldn't change anything.
You never believed in me.
No? I suppose you think it was just luck. You found that paperclip in your previous cell.
I noticed there isn't one here this time.
It's all run on computer now. And now that they suspect I helped you, they won't let me anywhere near the mainframe.
Don't try to play the saint. You're the one who brought me back here.
If I hadn't, I'd be exactly where you are, along with my entire family.
Then that's what you should have done.
Please! You think we're going to spend the rest of our lives behind bars because you have a thing for flower power?
Thornton, I had no idea it was take your idiot to work day.
Well, I think it's time someone washed out that filthy mouth of yours.
No!
I've been made to pull Sebastian!
Stop it, Thornton.
You never let me have any fun.
I came by to warn you. After the ceremony, the soothmaker is going to make you an offer. You can forego your sentence if you join us.
What's to stop me from turning against him once they set me free?
Well, you won't be free exactly. Since you're first generation, you'll have to spend the rest of your days in their underground compound.
So I'd be trading one prison for another.
It's the opposite of prison. We'd live there ourselves if we weren't assigned to the surface. You'll be in a world filled with all the art, technology, and medical advancements that are too revolutionary for the public.
Do you realize how arrogant that is? If the world isn't ready for these things, then why are they? Who made them God?
They did. And you'd be a fool not to join them. What do you say?
No, I won't sell out my world to live in an easier one.
Pearls before swine. Let's go, Daddy. If we hurry, we can take in that new Bollywood picture before it gets shelved.
Thornton's annoying as hell. Use the bat!
Sorry about that, Thornton.
Really? Seems like you were kind of aiming for him.
How did you two find this place?
Planted a tracker in your pocket.
I should have known better than to let my guard down around a spy. Even my own.
We're here to save Sebastian, and you're going to help us.
And why would I do that?
Because if you don't, we'll have you arrested.
You underestimate Decilio's reach. They have the power to clean up any mess you're capable of making.
Maybe. But I have a feeling they're not going to be too happy to find out you're the reason for that mess.
You know, I liked you a whole lot better when you had hair.
That makes two of us.
Honestly, I think you look fine like this.
So what's it going to be, Arthur? Are you going to help us get Sebastian out of here or not?
It's not going to be a simple extraction. They've planted a device inside Sebastian that will allow them to track his every move.
How do we get it out of him?
We can't. It's a special nanotechnology embedded in his bloodstream.
A nano what?
You'll be hearing more about it in years to come, once Decilio releases it to the masses, that is.
That's what that shot was! I'm doomed!
Not necessarily. Before a technology and its creator are about to be shelved, Legacy members are allowed to challenge the Soothmaker.
You weirdos have a crazy name for everything, don't you?
The Soothmaker sets all the laws of the land. If you can get your hands on a Legacy pin, you'll be allowed to challenge him for his title. Then you'll be able to free Sebastian.
How often do people win these debates?
Well, that's the thing. He's been undefeated since 1882.
Sounds like this Soothmaker has quite the gift of gab.
Not to mention pretty old.
Those are both massive understatements. No one's been able to prove it, but I'm certain the Soothmaker has been using shelved technology to maintain his position. He's lived far longer than any human should, and his mind is quicker and more knowledgeable than any I've ever seen. He's fixed the rules to match his skills, which has made him pretty much undefeatable. You'll need to find out his secret weapon if you stand a chance at winning the debate.
Alright, so, get a legacy pin, stop the Soothmaker from using whatever he's using, and then win a debate in front of a bunch of masked weirdos. Anything else we're missing?
Yes, don't get caught.
I don't think he'll be needing this anymore.
Okay.
Balloons filled with helium? This place has everything. This must be where the debate takes place. Behold our idol, the manatee Hugh, here to remind us why we do what we do.
Oh, cute.
Alright, we're gonna go down the stairs to get there. Okay. That works. Okay.
Locked. We'll need to find a key if we want to go in there.
Okay, so we need a key. You weren't there before. Hello.
I noticed you have a pin.
You're supposed to say Vivat Decilio. Don't you know anything?
I guess not.
That's how you're supposed to greet people here. One person says Vivat Decilio, and the other person says Fortis Decilio.
Sounds fun.
No, it's stupid. This whole place is stupid.
Ugh, something wrong?
I'm too young.
Oh, hey, I know it might feel that way, but one day you'll look back and miss these times.
No, I'm too young to see the movie. They're gonna destroy it after the fair's over, and they're not gonna remake it for 23 years. It's so unfair. Everyone knows the original's always better.
If I could get you into the movie, would you let me borrow that pin?
I guess, but I don't know how you'd pull that off.
Leave that to me to figure out.
Sure, whatever you say.
Okay, so I have to get him into...
This ficus has seen better days. They must have dragged the ocean to recover it. Well, look at that. I guess someone at Decilio managed to recover the ficus.
I know that voice.
Lazy?
If it isn't my old roommate, Clara. Welcome to the Decilio Fair.
You're still falling for that. How dense are you? It's Numi Kovacs.
Very funny, Clara. We all know Numi Kovacs and her partner Turn are not welcome here in Decilio and would probably be locked up if someone found out.
But I'm not Clara.
She knows that. Stop blowing her cover and play along.
Wow, you do voices too.
What are you doing here?
I'm here with my lovely fiancé, Thornton, who I love very deeply. He's shown me the error of my rebellious ways, and I've decided it's better to beat them than join them.
I think you mean it's better to join them than beat them.
Yes, that's exactly what I meant. So what brings you here?
I'm here to see a mutual friend of ours and to make sure he gets home safe.
I was hoping you'd say that. Is there anything I can do to help?
Not that I can think of at the moment.
Let me know if you come up with something. It's what I'm here for.
Will do.
Hey, I'm gonna need a card.
Vivat Docilio!
Fortis Docilio.
How are you today, fellow Docilite?
You seem pretty chipper.
Of course I'm chipper. I've just become a member of the most powerful secret society in the world.
Congratulations!
You Docilites are just so welcoming. Or should I say, we Docilites are just so welcoming.
What's so dangerous about a key?
A key? Ha! This isn't just any key. This is a universal key. It's an actual key to the city, or town, or village, wherever you want to use it, really. Just hold it up to any lock and you'll be able to unlock that baby in a matter of seconds. Obviously, this would have made all locks obsolete and would have been a huge disrupting force in the world's economy, which is why I'm here.
Can I have one of these?
No way, Jose. You'll have to wait until 2021 like everyone else.
But 2021
That's
was
when
last year.
everything's going to be running on fingerprints.
How did you become a Docilite?
That's a funny story, actually. I was driving home from the patent office when two vans came up and drove me off the road. The next thing I know, I'm waking up in that wacky zoo they got going over there. After a few sprays to the old noggin, the soothmaker comes up to me and tells me I can either join this amazing group or spend the rest of my life as a cautionary tale. What an amazing offer, right?
Right. Bye.
Toodles!
Vivat Docilio!
Fortis Docilio. What movie are you showing?
Oh boy, you're really gonna want to check this one out. It's called, I'm not actually sure how to pronounce this one, to be honest, but it's a real whooper of a story. It takes place in this world where everyone's hooked up to these computers, but no one really knows it, see? So the main guy has to go to war with all the computers so people can see the world for what it really is, which ain't so good. They did a showing of it in New Delhi last month, but people started asking way too many questions. Can computers actually do that? Are we in a computer right now? How does it make the camera move all fancy like that? Well, pretty soon after that, we swept in and destroyed all the copies. Except for this one, of course.
Do you think we're actually in a computer simulation?
Well,
Breaking
I'm
the
not a
fourth wall.
legacy, so I've never actually been inside the shelving zone. But let me ask you this. Do you ever feel like you're not exactly in control of what you're doing? Like someone else is making the decisions for you?
Now that I think of it, yeah. Almost all the time.
Well, there you go.
What happens to a movie after it gets shelved?
It gets destroyed like all the others, but they keep a copy of the script so they can remake it whenever the soothmaker says it's ready.
Seems like a waste.
You're preaching to the converted, kid. You ask me, the original's always better.
Any way you could let this kid in?
If the computer shows they're underage, I can't let him in.
Please?
Look, lady, I'd love to, but you know how big this place is on rules. If they catch me doing a thing like that, then I'll never see the surface again.
Okay, so computer's probably in that locked door, so I need the universal key to that. Okay. Lacey?
I think I might need your help after all.
Let's hear it.
I could really use one of those universal keys, but she won't let me.
Oh, yeah. That one's a real eager beaver. There's no way she's gonna just let you have one. If you were to distract her, though, I might be able to do something.
How do you suggest I do that?
Try riling her up. She acts all sunshine and roses, but I think that's because she's trying to ignore the compromise she's made in joining.
We'll give it a shot.
I think you mean you'll give it a shot?
Right. Sorry.
Ugh, get it together, Kovacs.
Vivat Docilio!
Fortis Docilio. Can I ask you a question?
Of course. What would you like to know?
Don't you wish people could actually use your invention instead of just sitting in a hole until it doesn't matter anymore?
Well, sure. I mean, every inventor wants to make a difference, but not too much of a difference, right? It's like the soothmaker says. Whenever you make a change, the world has to rearrange. You don't want to rearrange things too much.
The world should be rearranged. You don't want everything to just stay the same forever, do you?
I had two choices, all right? Either join these people or spend the rest of my life in their weird human zoo. Don't you think I'd like to be out there trying to advance the world instead of slowing it down? But that's not how it works. It's just not how it works.
Good to know. Thanks for being so honest.
Okay, Lacey, give me that key.
Did you get the key?
Sure did. Here. Go long!
Go long?
I got this.
Oh, you don't go, you didn't have that. Okay, we won't touch the balloons then. We're just gonna take the key to the plate.
Check under the doormat. Now, to just find the right combination. That looks about right. Locked. We'll need to find a key if we want to go in there.
I have a key.
Oh, the poor manatee. What do you think, Dern? Should we wake him?
Don't you dare.
Now, to just make a few changes.
Warning. Vocabulary functions are currently being upgraded. Making changes to the Docilite Age database may corrupt the augmentation process. Do you wish to proceed?
Yes.
Age requirement removed for all cinematic events. Warning. Advanced vocabulary functions have been corrupted in the Zoommaker database. Rhyming dictionary disabled.
Computers are so efficient.
So we should be able to go back to the place and get him in to see the movie now. Then he'll give me the pin, and we can go talk to the soothsayer, who, given the rhyming and stuff like that, I'm pretty sure is the guy we spoke to at the start who did the rhyming stuff.
Would you mind checking this, adult again? I think your computer may have made a mistake.
No, I don't think that's possible. But I'd be happy to humor you. Well, I'll be. Guess there's a first time for everything. Better hustle to your seat. Last show's about to start.
Yippee! Thank you, mister.
Aren't you forgetting something?
Oh, yeah. Here you go.
I have a pin. I have a pin.
We have 26 million. Do I hear 27? Small price for this thick slice of heaven. It's the first mining vehicle that fully functions in space. Make your bid now, or you'll have egg on your face. Going once, going twice, to Solaris' CEO. When it gets released in 35 years, he'll be rolling in the dough. Sold. And now, as a sacrifice to our manatee, Hugh, we temporarily bequeath this tribute to you. Vivat Docidio, Fortis Docidio. Vivat Docidio, Fortis Docidio.
Why has everything got cults?
What a bunch of creeps.
So, wait. Hab is in charge of Docilio?
Makes sense. He started consulting for us right around the time Sebastian went missing. He probably made a deal with Penderbrook so he could use our office as his private war room.
I bet that computer's why he's able to rhyme so well. What kind of person just speaks in haiku?
Our next acquisition on the vehicular docket is bound to make your stock skyrocket. We're holding this car back because it's a threat to big oil, running only on plants, water, air, and soil. It won't hit the world till 2038, but trust me, friends, it's well worth the wait. Now, before we begin in this beauteous show, are there any objections to the manner in which this was dealt with? That didn't sound right at all.
Looks like that augmentation's starting to wear off. Time to speak up.
I object! The ficus and its inventor should both be released. You've overstepped your bounds and we're all being fleeced. It's time to elect a brand new soothmaker. The one we have now is a real troublemaker.
A challenge to the Soothmaker from a legacy member. Bring her up to the stage so I can crush this contender. Wait a minute, that rhyme was off too. Is it possible I'm coming down with the flu?
You gonna debate me or what?
Very well. All statements we make must rhyme like a poem. If you can't pull that off, you'll be asked to go home. Winner shall be determined by popular vote. I elect to go first, since I've warmed up my throat.
Knock yourself out.
Round one.
For years I've kept this world both docile and calm, holding back discoveries that would hit like a bomb. Letting this car go would be the deadliest error. That you think we should shows you're no fortune, teller.
Personal attack.
Technology is only a threat when it's bound to succeed. But this pathetic vehicle can be stopped by a weed. It's destined to make its manufacturer broke. Seeing it as a threat makes us look like a joke.
Refuted.
Hear that? And I did it without having to resort to a slant rhyme.
I was only slant rhyming to give you a chance. But if you want a true challenge, come on now, let's dance!
Round 2.
Think of that loopy inventor we'd have to set free. Setting him loose out there would give us a new
Victory!
Yes, that's it! Sending him back in the world would give us a new victory.
I'm glad you agree.
Wait, no! Oh, come on, that wasn't a true rhyme either.
Oh, so you can tell the difference.
All right. Change of rules. We no longer need to rhyme. In fact, if anyone does, they'll receive a small fine.
Penalty.
Ah!
Round 3.
Okay, let's say we release this. You know what happens next? 300 million cars. Obsolete. Oil. Worthless. A worldwide economic collapse, the likes of which have never been seen. Is that what you want? Is it?
Fearmonger.
You fear this car as much as my ability to rhyme. Maybe the real problem is that you're way past your prime.
Personal attack.
That doesn't answer my concern, and you're not supposed to rhyme. I'm deducting a point for that linguistic, infraction.
Penalty. Final round.
Fine. You want to set this car free? Then what do we do with the inventor? He's seen all our rituals, the entire epicenter. Oh, it's working again. Penalty removed.
He escaped once before and probably will again. Another decilio problem from the soothmaker's awful brain.
No, this new cell is impossible to escape.
Oh, so you knowingly put him in an easy-to-escape cell. Sounds like the judgment of someone mentally unwell.
Double personal attack.
Did I win?
The winner is Challenger.
What? She can't be the new Soothmaker! Docilites, can't you see? This woman's ideas are just as misshapen as the body that makes them.
Hey, that's just mean.
You got in there, didn't you? You got in there and messed with my head. I couldn't access my rhymes. It was like my brain was,
Dead?
Took the words out of my mouth there, Numi. Took the words out of my mouth.
Guards, bring Mr. Cartwright to me. And remove this man from the stage.
I'll never rhyme again. Turn! Numi! You're not a large misshapen docilite.
Not anymore, we're not.
What are you doing here?
We're here to rescue Sebastian and undo the damage we've been a part of.
Oh, no. I don't think we can allow that. Guards, put these three in the zoo. What's that noise? Is that a helicopter? We're not shelving one of those this year.
It's Horace.
Turn! Wait!
We're getting out of here, Hap, and we're taking Sebastian with us.
Are you sure you don't want to be a part of our world instead?
A bunch of masked weirdos burying cool stuff in the woods? I think I'm good.
You might have forgotten that Docilio holds back all kinds of advancements. Culture, science, technology, medical breakthroughs.
Uh-oh.
We shelved the one you want about 10 years back. Real miracle cure. Almost took some myself, but I like it cool up top. We decided it'd be too big a hit on the hat industry. Not to mention, weeks. You look different, by the way. Older? Less confident?
Turn, we have to go now.
Oh, don't let my rambling stop you. You'll be able to get it once it hits the market. In about 60 years.
No, I want it now.
I think you'll find Docilio can be pretty accommodating. Especially
No,
when it
Turn!
comes to our own.
Don't, no!
What do you say, Turn? Isn't it about time you joined the side you've been working for all these years?
You can't do this, Turn.
Why not?
Because
He honestly does look really good bald.
you look better this way. Trust me.
Trust you? Oh, why should I trust you? I'm just another item in your inventory. I opened up to you back on that island. Told you my most embarrassing secrets. All you did was use them against me, so you could complete your little mission.
I did what I had to do. You would have done the exact same thing.
You're absolutely right about that, Mindy. And that's the problem.
Turn, wait.
Pull her up, Horace. I'm gonna sit this one out. Good luck out there, News. You're gonna need it.
You won't be able to hide from us forever. Sooner or later, you'll run into a member.
That's still a slant rhyme.
Ah, what's wrong with me tonight?
Turn left me! He left me!
Who knows if we'll cross when flight patterns lock? We're bound to the points on which ends will we mark.
ACI Limited.
Hi, this is Numi Kovacs. I'm calling for...
Please hold.
Okay, I guess we're getting the job with Cynthia.
There's my favorite prospect. Any leads on that Docilio case?
More than just leads. I've already infiltrated their headquarters and extracted Sebastian. Though I did lose my partner in the process.
You mean Turn? Is he okay?
He seems to think so. Docilio offered him something he's been after for a long time. He abandoned me in the field.
Ugh. Now you can see why we call him Turn.
Yeah.
And I guess this betrayal officially makes you the new me. You know, because of your name.
Yeah, I got it.
Then laugh. Unless I'm misunderstanding the purpose of this call. You are still looking for a job, right? That's more like it. I'll send a car over while I get started on the paperwork.
The sooner the better. I have the feeling Docilio's already on the warpath.
Relax. From this point on, I'm making it my personal mission to make sure you're safe. Us bloodhounds always have each other's back.
Thanks, Cynthia. I'm really looking forward to working for you.
So am I, Numi. So am I.
Well, we got a job with Cynthia at least. We lost our partner, but he chose to stay with a creepy cult because they offered for him not to be bald. Like, who does that? Who does that? Crazy people, that's what. Crazy people.
So many dumb things.